You're still watching the Eastern Business Report right here on the Afia Business Morning. The 5-day Amadeo Business Summit has come to a close, wrapping up a week of impactful activities designed to empower entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners across the state. It was held at the Amadeo Event Center. The summit, themed Thriving in Times Like This, featured a rich lineup of sessions, including art exhibitions, pitch competitions, and discussions on public-private partnerships, technology, agriculture, real estate, and finance. Afia TV's correspondent brings you a recap of the summit.
For 5 days, Enugu became the heartbeat of business innovation as the Amadeo Business Summit empowered a new wave of entrepreneurs with tools, insights, and connections to thrive in an evolving economy. Kicking off on Monday with art exhibitions and a business masterclass for CEOs, the 5-day summit brought together business leaders, investors, and creatives from across the globe for conversations around growth, technology, real estate, agriculture, and finance. Speaking to Afia TV, the convener, Dr. Chime, expressed excitement that the long-anticipated day had finally arrived. He praised the creativity of participating artists, describing their work as outstanding and affirming that Enugu has become the home of arts in the region.
We are glad at Amadeo Business Summit. We've always believed that society has more than what we can see. Enugu has been known for a number of diverse things, for tourism, for art, and for very many things. And we were excited that Life in My City Art Festival decided to collaborate with us. We invited them and they agreed. So it's in sync with the theme of Amadeo Business Summit, which is connecting minds and leading change. That is what we have as our theme. And that is why we are happy that Life in My City today, you could see a lot of the artworks from behind me here. Young people who have come from various parts of this country, who have decided to come every year. Life in My City Art Festival brings about 100 young artists. So we found out that the vision they have of encouraging young people to scale up in their ideas and not feel there is any limitation whatsoever is what we also have in Amadeo Business Summit.
Mrs. Adora Ungu, Programs Manager of the Life in My City Art Festival, emphasized the importance of creativity in the art world, noting that art is not just about expression, but also a viable path to business and economic growth.
At Life in My City Art Festival, we believe strongly that art can be used as a tool for social and national development. And all that development is starting from people's personal development, economic development, and all sorts of development, even education. Art is a tool for education as well. And for instance, in the business world, we have collectors. And we know that these are the things that add to the economy. We have people who are collecting art as a form of investment. So you don't just invest in bonds or savings accounts or treasury bills. People actually invest their money in art because art appreciates over time.
From creativity, the summit shifted to business on day 2, focusing on enterprise development with thought-provoking public-private dialogues and idea exchanges aimed at reshaping the business landscape in Enugu State. Addressing the recurring challenge of small businesses folding within their first 5 years, the CEO of Afia Invest West Africa Limited, Dr. Ike Chioke, stressed the need for entrepreneurs to stay resilient, manage their finances prudently for long-term sustainability.
There's a standard history of our startup, that easily 90% of them might die in 5 years. But you have to then develop resilience. What is it that you need to make the resilience for us? And I think that there are bigger issues that we face in startup other than the actual fundamental business itself. You can say, for example, I'm going to set up a salad, barbecue, and when you set it up, there was nothing like Pan A electricity. At the time, electricity was costing 39 naira kilowatt hour. So you could afford to pay your electricity bill, and you are charging 2,000, 3,000 naira per hectare. We started it in 2023. Enter 2024, the electricity tariff changes. and suddenly you're paying 200 naira per kilowatt hour. That same business, you then find that you're in a location where you cannot charge, for you to make money, you need to charge 8,000 naira. You can see now that is not the core of your business. It's the environment in which you live. So what happens with small startups that sometimes they are victims of the environment. Almost all businesses have to deal with the environment, both big and small and micro startups. So what to start? Not that you have a little bit of success. I mean, you don't quickly go to the next one and be doing what is Dorime. That's what I see there. They save the money, they start celebrating. No, putting away from ready day. They're making something that will change the environment, that will be like you need to do savings to restructure your business. And when you realize that you have a long haul ahead of you, you'll be much more patient, much more conservative. And that will help you.
The day also featured a high-level panel discussion moderated by Barrister Richard Ago, bringing together key voices from both the public and private sectors, including the Commissioner for Trade and Investment, Dr. Samuel Obunwobodo, and the CEO of HGNW Consulting, Dr. Emery Agonwa. Responding to a question on taxation, Dr. Obu highlighted the government's measures to ease business operations and promote investment across the state.
And in Enugu State, that's exactly what we're trying to build. We want to build a government that is focused as an institution, regardless of who occupies. And one of the first things, one of the major bases for that is the introduction of the e-governance platform, which we have pretty much almost close to 70% migrated from a normal moving files around, hard paper communications to an e-governance platform. And what that does is that I can write my memo to the governor and channel it to him, but that memo stays there forever. There's no longer that somebody leaves office and you're looking for the memo or the stuff he did. Same also, it allows you now to create a culture of accountability. It allows others to also assess you because you have put in a structure that is transparent, a structure that you can audit, a structure that is efficient. I wake up whenever I want and I'm doing a memo, I can move it to the Commissioner for Finance without waiting for the day to break so I can go and file it before him. You may not know that that is efficiency and allows government to work better. But then, with regards to the question you asked, what we are doing about the taxes, let me say this, and I can't say it enough. There's not been any new taxes introduced by this government. What we have done is to streamline the process and make the collection system efficient and to some extent all-encompassing. No government can operate, no matter which country, without revenue.
Still on the theme of economic growth, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Agro-Industrialization, Dr. Patrick Ubro, on the third day, shed light on ongoing agricultural projects and government efforts to enhance productivity and empower local farmers.
Culture. It also aligns with the saying that agriculture thrives where water flows on a good soil. Agriculture thrives where water flows on a good soil. And that's why in Enugu State, we give God all the glory because He has bestowed upon this state good soil, good water body, and good people to carry out agriculture. Today, please, next slide. We'll talk about some of our foundation projects. The Enugu State Land Bank, the 260 farm estates, the farm mechanization and tractor assembly, the greenhouse solar cold room technology, the digital farm registry, the special agro-processing zone, the livestock productivity center, and the Enugu State Cocoa Development Initiatives. Just as we have 260 green smart schools, we have 260 health centers, we're also having 260 farm estates across all our electoral wards. These farm estates are ongoing. Among them is mechanizing the agricultural sector. That's why the state, in partnership with Nortra Tractors, has established a tractor assembly and servicing center where 1,000 tractors has been promised to Enugu, to our farmers, both smallholders and commercial farmers. The plant is about 98% completion. I believe that before the end of October, we'll commission that plant.
As the summit progressed, the conversation expanded to other key sectors driving development. Day 4 turned the spotlight on real estate ownership, investment, and financing. During the panel session, one of the panelists spoke on housing development, emphasizing the need for stakeholders, from off-takers to developers, to adopt practical, efficient designs that prioritize affordability, accessibility, and availability.
Asking them to register and get profiled for NHF. Some of them who are actually earning less than 100 want 4-bedroom houses, and they want it on their own land. They don't want it as a flat. And by the time you price those zones, they will not be spending at that time anything less than 25, 30 million. This is somebody who is earning at times less than 100,000. In fact, by the time we finished our profiling of over 200 persons, we didn't get up to 10 who qualified to take 5 million, which was then the threshold for FMBN. So it's important that we educate people. It's key that we educate both the off-takers and the developers and even the architects. Like Brother Femi said, so much wastage in design that you don't need. Key areas we need to consider. Affordability is just one. Accessibility to housing is another. Availability of those houses is also another. And that's why what MRIF and the Family Home Fund and to some extent the Federal Mortgage Bank are doing is relevant. It's also important to speak to state governments, because as you find out, when it comes to state governments providing land is usually not available for public housing in urban centers if it's coming from government. And that's not good enough, because they make those houses are not bankable. So how would we build, putting more money into an asset that you cannot convert to cash?
Continuing the conversation, Mrs. Olajumoke Akinwumi underscored the importance of financial literacy among young people, encouraging them to understand their income levels and make sustainable housing choices. She urged both the government and stakeholders to move beyond theories and implement housing solutions that reflect the realities and aspiration of young Nigerians.
I think any smart government will look at the demographic even today and recognize that young people are the engine room of all the major cities in this country. And we're not talking about, lazy youth. We're talking about young people who really are creative, innovative, and do have their money in their pocket. It's just that, as Femi had mentioned, we've kind of failed them. So the ideas around cohabiting, co-living, rent to own, shared ownership, all of these products, they have to be an integral part of how we keep young people keeping our cities alive. And governments need to think, these young people don't want to go and live on the outskirts of town. It's not going to work. But we now have cities that are old enough where some regeneration, I know we don't like the sound of that word, but it is a word that is used for cities that have either run down, have neighborhoods that need to be reworked. We need to look at those neighborhoods, and I'm sitting here and thinking, I live in Lagos, right? So I'm thinking of so many residential neighborhoods in Lagos that could do with a serious look at how do we regenerate this and then incorporate the needs of young people. Young people have no problem living in a 50 square meter, 1.5 bedroom house, so long as it is easily accessible. They can get to all their watering holes. There's Wi-Fi. They can call an Uber and it take a few minutes for the Uber to get there. Am I right or wrong? That's what we need to do.
The grand finale held on Friday featured a vibrant mix of activities, including cash prizes, award presentations, business grants, and keynote speeches. Representing the chairman of the Enugu State Internal Revenue Service, Barrister Arinze Nnamani spoke on the various tax incentives provided by the state government to support and encourage business owners in Enugu.
This administration, the government is keen on ensuring that every single penny you pay is used for development of the state, a development that you and I are part of, you and I benefit from. The consolidation of state revenues in the informal sector through the e-tickets in the markets, street shops and transport, and the adoption of consolidated demand notices. If you have a business in the formal sector, like Copen and other of its partners, we give what we call consolidated demand notice, and that is part of the incentives by the state. The reason why I call that an incentive is that it reduces footfalls from revenue officers from different MDAs coming into your business before, and that has reduced the friction many businesses have today. The service has also prioritized capacity building and staff welfare, recognizing that institutional growth rests on human capital. You cannot have an organization that will attain greater heights without you investing in the people. And we are very keen on doing that in Enugu State Internal Revenue Service.
The Amadeo Business Summit lived up to its theme, thriving in times like this, as it inspired and empowered entrepreneurs to adapt, innovate, and build resilience in today's economy. Outside the event hall, the atmosphere was equally vibrant as small and medium-scale business owners showcased their products at various exhibition stands. From fashion to food brands, the displays reflected Enugu's growing entrepreneurial spirit and innovation drive. 12 business owners from the Business Masterclass received business grants. 3 business owners received 100,000 naira each from the CEO of Kitchen Pastries through the organizers. Afia TV was also given an award of excellence in telling the Southeast stories.
Our next awardee is on the platform of, again, one of the biggest brands that has done us proud in the Southeast, playing in the media space. We are talking about the behemoth, massively celebrated Afia TV. Please put your hands together. Afia TV and radio, actually. Please put your hands together as we receive the General Manager Afia TV and radio.
In Enugu, Marvelous Apuamaga reporting for Afia TV.
After organizing what many have described as a truly impactful event, the organizers of the Amadeo Business Summit 4.0 rounded things off by awarding business grants to some outstanding entrepreneurs. The first place winner received 1 million naira and an iPad, while the second place winner walked away with 500,000 naira. And as the winners, they are here to share their journeys, their win moments, and how they plan to turn this opportunity into sustainable business growth here in Enugu State and beyond. We have Mr. Emmanuel Obi, who is the MD and lead brand strategist, Navigators NG, and also Mrs. Angela Chime, MD and CEO of CANI Fabrics. Welcome to the program, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marvelous. A big congratulations to you once again.
All right, thank you.
You're the latest millionaire in town. Why are you hiding your face? Please, we need to see you. Wave then. Yeah, I'm waving. I'm just joking. Okay, so let's begin. Let's start from the big moment. Okay. Let's start with Emmanuel. How did you feel when your name was called as one of the Amadeo Business Summit's grant winners?
For me, it was one of those moments where, just like the Bible says, kings will come to your rising. It was a crowning moment, and I felt very excited. I felt celebrated and appreciated. It felt like what we are doing is finally being noticed, what the business is about, and our efforts are being recognized. So it was an amazing moment for me and for Navigators Eng.
So tell us a bit about your business before we come to Mrs. Angela. Tell us a bit about your business, the whole process for you, from the registration process during the Amadeo Business Summit and the pitching process. Just tell us everything about it. How was the journey?
Okay. My business, Navigators, is a digital marketing agency. We not only, basically we help businesses gain visibility to their target audience. So the whole process for Amadeo, the Amadeo program was very easy. The master class was the first day, so we were meant to come in and register. Basically, write attendance that you came. And then all through the process, we are meant to not pay money, but pay attention, like the Reverend said. We should pay attention. So I paid attention, most of us paid attention. We, listened, we asked questions, participated as much as we can. It was an amazing process. Dr. Emile Agunwa was on his best. I mean, nobody, we were basically led to think outside the box, and we were also being challenged to think out the next innovation and to be able to move our businesses forward. Okay, so from registration, we participated, we did a pitch, we also sent in pitch 2, and then they used their parameters to measure, and here we are. Like I said, the rest is history.
The rest is history indeed. All right, Mrs. Angela, let's come to you. What was the moment like for you? And I want you to also walk us through your journey.
It was a moment of excitement. One wasn't expecting, because you don't know whether you will win or not. I actually came to learn. Yeah. Having paid for master classes online, so when I heard that there's a master class for free of charge, as a business person, I don't take such opportunities for granted. That's why I came to learn. And then we were now taking through pitching our businesses, coming early, paying attention, asking questions, making sensible contributions in the class. I guess that's some of the criteria they used. And we're asked to keep coming. Now you are asked to keep coming, but it's going to benefit me who was coming, because I got to learn more. And so when my name was called, I was excited. It was a beautiful moment.
Was there a pitch competition? We learned there would be a pitch competition.
There was a pitch. We were asked to pitch our businesses in 3 minutes.
Oh.
And so in 3 minutes, you come. I happened to be the first person that stood there to pitch my business, because I wanted people to know about what we do. So we just came out and talk. And so I don't know whether it was a competition. Okay, but we were just talking.
One of the criteria.
Yes, we were able to pitch our businesses. So that's maybe.
So beyond the money, what else would you say the summit exposed you to?
The money is one part of the summit, but the greater part of the summit was that summit was quite impactful. That summit was educational. That summit was motivational. That summit brought about collaboration and networking. So it was a mind-blowing experience for me. It's beyond just the money, but the lessons learned from the summit, the take-home lessons learned.
How about you, Mr. Mama?
I think it's more of meeting young minds that stands out for me. Connecting, for instance, some of the beneficiaries of the grant, we started a WhatsApp group so that we can post summits, connect, and build something. So the connection was the collaboration, and then another thing is the mind-blowing exposure. You know, the idea is that you have to think, and Dr. Mire was able to get us to that point where is business a game or a war? You need to choose which one is actually a war. All right. So this kind of thinking challenged, I don't know about every person, but challenged me, and it's still an inspiration for me going forward post summit.
So what was business like for you before the summit, and why did you decide to attend?
Okay, our business has been fairly good, doing well. I mean, I have clients across Nigeria, even outside of Nigeria. We push as much as we can. So decided to, Amadeo Business Summit happens every year. I think this was the 4th edition. I mean, the last edition I was there too, and all. So it's something that comes. I'm excited to look forward to it sometimes, most times, you know. So it's a nice experience.
So you are the winner, let's say overall winner.
Okay.
The latest millionaire in town. How would you say that? Yeah, I know. That was what I said, the overall.
Okay.
So looking back now, what do you think made your presentation to stand out to the judges?
I think it wasn't just a presentation. You know, you are not just selling a business, you're also selling yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so I presented myself first, well, you know, and also the business world. And it wasn't just about the, like I said, not just about the presentation. Punctuality is one of the things I feel was one of the measuring tools, which is very important for today's business. I mean, it's becoming an African thing. We hear about African time going and all that stuff. And it's not just a joke. These are patterns. It trickles down to the everyday things we do. So punctuality has eluded a lot of businesses. A lot of you agree to have a meeting in the morning by 10 and then end up coming by 12. You know, and nobody is even taking responsibility of that. So I think these are the things, just small things that looks minor, but is a game changer. So punctuality is one thing. So I think those are one of the things they looked at.
So when you wrote down your names on the list, you also wrote down the time you came in?
No, they had, according to what they said, they had someone manning the time they want to cut off the list. We weren't made to know that they were actually taking note of that, because most people, you know Nigerians now. So
as long as money is involved.
Exactly. I think it was a coded thing. I think Amadeo Business Summit was one of the, for me so far this year, is one of the most well-planned conferences in Enugu, you know, so far this year. And it's evident in the impacts. You know, it was intentional. You know, you cannot be a business summit and not impact on businesses. It doesn't make sense. All right. So I think it was a good one. It's a good outing. One of the best in Enugu. Not just because I'm a winner, but it's an evidence you can see.
Yeah, actually it is. So Mrs. Oda, let's come to you. Looking back, what do you think made your presentation stand out to the judges?
Number one thing I would say that stood out for me was ability to speak intelligently, coherently, just in 3 minutes. Because being able to talk without planning, it's something that could be somehow difficult. So a lot of us came out, but what you said, does it have content? So being able to say something that has content in 3 minutes, not just advertising your business, but talking about what you do, challenges you face, and how you intend to overcome those challenges, they stood out. Also, like he said, being able to ask questions, we were able to make the class interactive from day one. Yeah. We were able to make the class interactive, so we are not just listening.
You mean you and Mr. Emmanuel?
No, a lot of us that came, yes, we're asking what stood out. Okay. What stood out is that the master class, it wasn't just him talking. We're able to ask questions relating to our businesses. We're able to also answer questions. And then, like he said, continuous coming and coming early, I think was also part of it.
You mentioned challenges. Let's move away from your business. Let's talk about businesses in Enugu. What challenges would you say businesses are currently facing in Enugu? Small, medium businesses?
The As a business person, well, I will always put in my business because I'm facing the challenge too. One of them is the lack of proper collaboration, which was mentioned at it. It was really like every day that we came for it, we're told the importance of collaboration. But in Enugu here, we lack that. For example, I'm into fabric selling. We're into fabric shop, and our fabric deals with Ankara fabric and African wear. Looking at for fashion designers to collaborate with you, or those who do bags to collaborate with, could be difficult in this place. Also, the visibility problem. I don't know the problem, but because I have my goods on Instagram, and so I go there to watch, and I see what they do in the West, in the Southwest, and I know that we in the Southeast, we're quite far from the kind of visibility they team up. So it's not just in the amount of money that they put in the business, but able to bring in the shoe seller to wear my dress, and I wear his shoes, and I could call the makeup artist, and we're able to team up and don't see ourselves as competitors, but we see ourselves as fighting for the wallet, trying to make sure we stay put in the business. That's one of the problems I see in the Southeast.
This is not the first time I'm hearing collaboration as a challenge with business owners. What would you say is the problem?
I think
is it even getting better? Because we talk about it all the time. People come to say collaboration.
We're building it small. I wouldn't say it's not as bad as it used to be, because we too, some of us are going for trainings online. We just had one master class that was physical, but sometimes we have gone for virtual master classes, and we registered for some programs that is helping us to see that it doesn't take so much to collaborate. So we're beginning to see the need, and though we may not have been too exposed or on the larger scale like other places, but in Enugu we are coming up gradually with that also. And even the problem of visibility, a lot of us are beginning to see the importance of social media, and so we are not just going there to just post fabric and go away. We're also beginning to see that, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Google is also there for us to use, and we are beginning to leverage on this.
So let's hear from you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Okay, for me is basically an issue of mindset. One of the first things that was pointed out by Dr. Mayor was mindset shift. People have, over the years, built the mindset that is bringing us down. Businesses, actually. You see people, instead of bringing money to do website, they would rather use it and drink, pursue, hook up and stuff. Good girls and stuff. Instead of investing the money, the greater value, they don't see it. Most people, instead of investing those money that your business makes a lot of money, is basically for personal use and personal comfort. So people go into business with the mindset of survival and their personal needs. They don't allow the business to grow. So everybody is making any small money you make, you plug it back to your personal use, your profit. There's no distinction between your business money and your personal money and all that stuff. So this mindset is really killing most businesses. People have to be intentional when it comes to business. Business is a person. You need to give it life. You need to allow it to grow. All right? You need to invest, pay for visibility, take advantage of social media. It's just the mindset, because once the mindset corrects, a lot of things start making sense. You start taking advantage of opportunities, collaborating. It's first the mindset. I think it's the mindset that makes the whole challenges for small businesses and businesses that are coming up.
All right, let's talk about your win. Winning comes with responsibility. What should we expect from your brand, and how do you intend, to use this to impact not just your business, but the region?
Okay, so interesting. I was expecting this question. So, and it's part of the presentation I did, and the ones we sent out. So, Navigators has a program, a system that we're trying to deploy. All right, so it's called DGS, Digital Growth System. So Digital Growth System is targeted. We have a lot of parameters I've already looked at. Businesses will get to give this help to build that visibility and all. But the three arms of DGS. First, it's the visibility arm, where we try to give websites to businesses at discounted rates. The second will be the academy. Navigators Academy will be able to train people on digital skills, relevant digital skills for the 21st century, for the AI age. Okay, and the third will be a community. Setting up communities where people can get support, when and how they need it, depending on. So every business have different kind of support they need. So we're able to give that community leverage to them, for them to leverage on communities, be able to. So if I'm doing fabrics, I'm able to talk to someone that is, doing web designing, graphics, and I'm able to get people that will do different things and help me balance my account and all that. So these are the key points that we're going to be showing out, and with that point, we're able to impact on businesses in both in Enugu, Southeast, and Nigeria.
All right, that's great. So the community, would it be free? You mentioned website discount. Because the way of you giving back to the society.
It's going to be free, at least initially.
You sound like you're not.
but it's going to be free for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Mr. Angela.
So we can leverage on it right now that is free. We don't going to miss that.
All right, Mr. Angela, let's hear from you.
What was your question?
Okay, so I said winning comes with responsibility.
Yes.
How do you plan to use this win to impact the region, businesses in the region?
Winning comes with a lot of responsibilities indeed. And when I got the money, I asked myself, so what do I do now that you have 500,000 naira extra in your coffers? But first of all, there's something that took me to Amadeo Business Summit, and that was knowledge, to learn. So I asked myself, what have I learned that money could be used for? And I told myself that the first is to be able to, in this era of convenient economy, how do I project CANI fabrics in the eyes of people? How do I push CANI fabrics for people to see that we're doing something different? We're not just selling Ankara fabrics, we're giving value. We're bringing African home. So that whether you're in the US or in the Europe and anywhere, like I'm in your studio today, I have a lot of pants I would have worn. But if I come out with Ankara fabrics mixed with Adire, it's going to catch your fancy, and I see the smile on your face. So we want to make it magnetic. How do we place ourselves on the world maps? And when you think of what to wear for an occasion, you're thinking of what to wear for an occasion to be quite outstanding. You're going for Ankara fabrics or Adire fabrics, going African, so you can do with pants, you can do with jacket, which I see online. How do I mix up with other people to put it in their eyes and put it that when you think of this, you're thinking of CANI fabrics? How do I leverage visibility so that, or whether on Google, whether on Instagram, if you search, you'll be able to see me. Now, when I look at that money, what can I do with it? I told myself, okay, a percentage could be used for paid sponsored ad to give us that visibility that we want, to impart, because we are moving from just profit to also creating value, which is what business should be doing. Not just to, if you focus only on profit, your business will not last long. But if you're able to give value, if you're able to build integrity, if you're able to build trustworthiness, and also from there you begin to be more productive, and then you're going to have a long-lasting business, which is what we're out to do. So how do I intend to impart? I'm here to create value.
More value, more impact.
So would the fabrics be affordable? Because you said you're doing so we can portray our culture to people who are not part of us or who are not one of us. So would this be affordable for us to buy?
All along, CANI fabrics have always been into wholesale and retail. We've been doing affordable fabrics with value. We don't just sell affordability, we also give you quality for whatever you're buying. So when you shop from us, you're shopping value for money. So we've been into wholesaling, we've been into worldwide and nationwide distribution all along.
Mrs. Angela, I can see what you're trying to do with it.
Affordability is relative. Just like Doc said you can't compete on low price. If affordability or the description of affordability is low price, then
No, not low price. That's why I said affordable. I didn't say cheap.
Which I agree with you because I'm already, of course, anybody who is into wholesaling, if I tell you I'm into wholesaling, that shows you that I'm already affordability because wholesaling means that I'm going to sell to you to go and resell. I'm not the end user. I'm not just selling to end users. So once I'm into wholesaling, I'm already giving you
selling to middlemen who sell.
Thank you. So that already brings that already crashes my price already. You're welcome, Marvin.
Do you have any other things before we let you go?
For me, okay, so I'm hosting a class on 31st of this month. It's about 10x your business visibility. So if you just go to my website, www.navigatorsng.com, you'll be able to sign up for the class coming up.
Free?
It's free. It's a free webinar.
All right, Mrs. Angela.
One last thing I want to do is to tell people about the platform that brought us here. We came here because we attended Amadeo Business Summit, and then next year we've been told that it's from 5th to 9th of October 2026. If you're into business or you intend to go into business, it's a place where you get free teaching. We came and we were taught free, and we've been told there's a new master class for that next year. So they're starting with master class next year, and the third day will be dealing with the skills like they did this year, and the final day, which was on the night, will be dealing with the SME. So we look forward to people coming to register so that you can get free education of business.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. I'll send you my account numbers later so that.
Remember, we're told to use it for business.
For business.
It's for business.
This one, not business.
No, we're using it to grow our business.
This one is not business.
We're growing our business. We're growing our business.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Welcome.
And that's too much we can take on the Eastern Business Report today. Until I see you tomorrow for another edition of the Afia Business Morning, I am Marvelous Apuamaga. Coming up next is Afia. Bye for now.